Good morning, gamers. Welcome back. We're going to look at. I talked about this on the other day on my Bridgewater Nights. We're going to look at the homebrew creature that I used in the last game session. I am the AMDM Lee. This is my cup of coffee, and you're watching How Do You Want to Brew This? Oh, it's good. And now it's gone. I'm sad. All right. So, what are we talking about? Oh, guys, this is freaking awesome. This is the creature I used in my last session on Bridgewater Nights. It is full disclosure, the guy based it loosely based on a 4th edition time elemental from the 4th edition wiki. I love this creature. I don't know if I'll bring it back in for my group because they've already encountered it and now they're even stronger. Or at least some of them are. So, dude, let me just get to it here. All right. So this, of course, we're at D&D Beyond. This is a time elemental, medium elemental unaligned. Armor class 17, 153 hit points, speed 30, strength's decent, and it's got good intelligence because it's freaking a time elemental. Wisdom saving throws, history buffs, perception, stealth, damage resistance, bludgeoning, piercing, slashing from non-magical, damage immunity, force. It's very important because I have a magic user who basically does force attacks. And he was practically useless. Sucked to be him. He did crit a few times, so I allowed that damage. It can phase through things. Auto coordination has advantage on any attacks made on a target with a fugue ability. Limited on, so it's like aware of everything. Keepers of the past. Double history proficiencies. Multi-attack. Makes 2 atomized attacks and uses its fugue ability once. Fugues only make 1 attack. So, plus 8 to hit with this fugue attack does 13 points of damage. I use that because it's just easier. DC 15 con save, or the age 11 years. The fugue attack was, it was a blast. It was a blast because it allowed me, after he did his attacks, and the other fugue would do its attack, and then he would go, and then another fugue would appear and attack. Alright, it was fun. I enjoyed it. So then they got they ended up getting some really good hits on him. And so then he used his collapse time stream. Took out some people. That was fun. I didn't get to use the respite because had he done that, it would have TPK'd the party. I'll be honest on that. That respite ability would have totally wiped my party at that point. Early on, they talk about the economy of actions. So as long as your hero, whoever has the most attacks per turn, is usually the one that's going to survive because the odds are on their side. Well, it was getting to a point where he didn't need it, and then they got some really good hits in. Some crits, some magic crits. Just really good damage was put in there. And by the time he got to where he could have did this respite and come back more points than what he had, because the fighter took him down pretty good. The magic user took him down pretty good, and then he took out the fighter and the magic user. Had I used this respite, he would have come back up and taken out the other 2 people. So I did not use that. Legendary actions. I did use the create the fugues, and then I used the coordinated to strike one time. That's how I took out the fighter. But this thing, let's see. Time Elemental in its true form is comprised of little more than a human-sized swirling mass of dust particles and a distorted, translucent black center. Rarely is the elemental in this form, and likes to take this form of deceased humanoids who have previously set foot in or around its lair. Brooding time elementals may be easily mistaken for ghosts, so what I used as a miniature on the battlefield was a ghost mini. It was just easy that way, because I had multiples of the same one. Creatures that get close to a time elemental in the true form can hear spectral, so it spoke in all the emanating voices they had been hearing. Oh, this was fun. Lair actions. Grants insight to a creature's past weaknesses, so it has advantage on the attack rolls. I did not use that lair action, because I only got... The combat didn't last a lot of rounds. I think maybe 4, maybe 5 rounds total. Once everybody started getting attacks in and stuff, things happen quick. But here's where the elemental recalls traumatic experiences. So I put the bard out of session for a good portion of the game because he failed his thing. Of course, what was funny was I started describing an event that had happened to the player's last character, not his current character. And I was like, oh, wait a minute. No. He's like, what? And I'm like, oh, crap, wrong guy. I had the whole thing planned out, and I forgot which character he was playing. I got in the backgrounds confused. Alter key life events, so they lose a proficiency. Regional effect. I used this when I was talking about rooms. Things flowing backwards. Crops growing and wildering. I used all of this when I had an event happen in a room where time was distorted. There was, it would either going super fast or going slow or backwards or just skipping. There was temporal distortions all through this room. I didn't do the 6-mile radius because they are in Long Street, and the house itself is magic that skips around town, and the time elemental just happens to stay in the house. So its radius for the regional effects was limited to the house, to more of lair-like effects. But this was a blast to run. Hold on. So yeah, all of these regional effects and lair actions, I used most of them in the house itself because it's a magical house. But the one I used the most, this atomized time and this fugue, and I got to use that collapsed time stream. That right there, on a failed saving throw, 27 necrotic damage. I had a 4th level player. That killed him. Right there. Just, he was out for the count. And he had no magic weapons to attack with. So I described his arrows disintegrating. And just not disintegrating, but aging and rotting away before they were able to do any damage. When he did hit, it would go in there and just slowly, over like just time had healed all wounds type stuff. So it didn't do as much damage as he was hoping. All in all, this was a really fun monster to use. So go to D&D Beyond, go to the home stream, the home crew, look up this monster. It was made by Catch This. Good job, man. Good job. All right, guys, that is all I've got for this video. If you like these videos, please click on the like button. If you think someone else would like them, please click on the share button. Every like is an inspiration, every share is an advantage, and every subscription is an experience point. Help me gain 10 experience. Help me gain 300 experience points so I can get to 2nd level. And as always, the AMDM does hereby authorize you, the viewer, to gain 10 experience points for every video that you share. Just tell your DM the AMDM said so. that is all I have for now. So go forth and roll some dice.